Good evening, welcome in RNQ classes, block number 2, Hinduism and Sikhism. Block number 2, Hinduism and Sikhism. Sorry. Good evening, welcome in RNQ classes, block number 2, Hinduism and Sikhism. Unit number 4, Philosophy of Sikhism. 4.0 Objective. Sikhism has developed a philosophy through indicated to Hindu philosophy with creative interpretation and new ideas. As in the case of Hinduism, Sikh philosophy can't be completely segregated from the religious philosophy. This article is an attempt at introducing the students to the rich and varied interpretations of the different concepts in Sikh philosophy, so that the students will get a better understanding of those concepts. 4.1 Introduction. Sikh philosophy subscribes to an idealistic monism with the characteristics of dynamism, non-dualism, and social commitment. Idealism in Sikhism can be understood in two ways. That is the metaphysical sense and the epistemological sense. In the metaphysical sense, idealism is the theory of the ultimate reality, and in the epistemological sense, it maintains that the object perceived is not independent of the receiver. Sikhism is idealistic in its nature, because it starts with the inquiry of the nature of the ultimate reality, that is IK, and this inquiry is spiritual in nature. Epistemological idealism starts its inquiry from the plurality of objects, and ends with monism. Sikhism is an indebted to Islam and Hinduism in its development of the concept of metaphysical monism. Nanak played a decisive role in interpreting the silent features of these two religious traditions, and at the same time it judiciously avoided the unhealthy elements in them. Sikhism considers Atman and body as the inseparable aspects of the one single spiritual reality. The ultimate spiritual reality is immanent in the cosmos, and at the same time it is transcendent. The immanent aspect of the ultimate reality is emphasized through dynamism, non-dualism, and social involvement, which leads to the acceptance of difference of modifications. The difference in the empirical level is explained in terms of personal and impersonal aspects of the ultimate reality. I in association with the created world becomes personal saguna, and in its unmanifest form becomes impersonal nirguna. Islam understanding of the ultimate reality was influenced by Greek Hellenistic understanding, which was first clearly articulated by the Greek philosopher Parmenides c. 514 BC as the absolutely real being Ibn Arabi 13 C. AD. The Islamic Sufi scholar might have been influenced by Parmenides' concept of being in developing the unity of being being, and the phenomenal world as its manifestation in Islam through the classical Islamic scholars did not subscribe to IB and Evil RB's concept of the unity of being. The Islamic scholars in India welcomed this concept because of its similarity with the Vedantic philosophy of non-dualism. Earlier to the Arag Veda, the understanding of the ultimate reality was polytheistic or henotheistic. The Vedic seers understood the ultimate reality sat as one, but people interpreted it is many. Rig Veda 1.16446. Rig Veda presented in the empirical realities as the manifestations of the primordial persons Purusa. By the time of the Upanishads, the Purusa in the Vedas gradually gave to an impersonalistic non-dual reality, that is Brahman. In the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavad traditions, the reality assumed a personalistic form as the incarnations of Vishnu. Later, the various schools in the Vedanta philosophy interpreted the ultimate reality as either personal or impersonal, or as both. 4.2 Ultimate principle as unity. During the time of Guru Nanak, there was diverse, at times mutually opposing interpretations of the concepts of reality. How to convincingly explain the otherness of the created beings without mitigating the ultimate unity of the reality was a challenging problem for Nanak. For Nanak, the ultimate reality was a dynamic IK which integrates the personal and the impersonal dimensions. This dynamic metaphysical approach explains the otherness of the manifest things, and the same time the impersonal aspect of the ultimate reality. The two traditions of scholars, that is the Nirmala school, non-dualistic interpretations of the reality, and at the Gayana school, the exegetical interpretations of the Adi Granth. In the Sikh tradition, contributed considerably to the development of the Sikh philosophy after Guru Gobind Singh. The Mula Mantra, the fundamental tenet composed by Guru Nanak and always given in the beginning of the Adi Granth, presents the central theme of the Sikh metaphysics. The Mula Mantra, as it is unicated by Nanak, harmoniously integrates the unity of the personal God and the spirit of impersonal idealism. The personal and the non-dual nature of the ultimate reality is the underlying current of the Sikh scriptures. The aspect of unity of the ultimate reality is represented by the Sikh concept Ikomar, which is a combination of three terms, that is IK, represent the creative aspect. On the one hand, the concept icomakar, the unity of the entire cosmos with its multitude of beings, time and space. On the whole, the concept icomakar represents the non-dual systematic unity. In Sikh philosophy, there are different kinds of unity: aggregate unity, or mere collection of unity; mechanical unity, where the units are connected by an external agent; organic unity, in which units are integrally connected. None of these is perfect unity, because all of them are translations. The perfect the unity in translational, which transcends all relations. Systematic unity, which Sikhism speak about, is the perfect unity because it is beyond all kinds of relation. This term systematic unity implies two aspects, that is the aspect of verity, uh, coherence. The origin of everything in this universe can be traced in a hierarchical order, going back to the subtle, formless, and the ultimate reality. All created beings emanate from the non-dual, formless, eternal, through the self-luminous, luminous spiritual beings come in the first level in the hierarchy, followed by human beings, because they have consciousness, instinct, and the insistence and the and the material beings are in the lowest level because they are divided in consequences, but they get upward mobility by the power of Guru's word. The manifested being reveal the formless principle in varying degrees in hierarchical order. The revelation of the ultimate reality is not limited only to the living beings. According to the Sikh philosophy, the reality is present in varying levels, even in material objects. For Nanak says, there is no grain which is without life. The hierarchical order is succinctly presented by Guru Nanak at the end of his Japi, with the help of the khandas, beginning with righteousness, the consequences Surai simultaneously moves through cognitive gain, affective saram, and connective karam dimensions, and culminates in the dimension of the truth khand. These dimensions khands represent hierarchical characteristics of the systematic 90. Uh, 90 Niribhai Singh 1990-63. The element of coherence in the concept of systematic unity represent inner harmony. The entire cosmos with the innumerable beings is regulated by the cosmic principle hukum. The cosmos being the aggregate of numerous beings, elements, and units has to be interconnected with each other without any inner contradictions. This inner unity is made possible with the help of the cosmic bill hukum and the systematic unity with its elements of hierarchy and currents. Nanak interpreted the Hindu concept of the dharma, which means social order or righteousness, as cosmic harmony or currents. 4.3 The concept of God in Sikhism. Sikhism teaches on uncompromising monotheism in the Mool Mantra. Nanak describes God as by the grace of the soul, oneself existence and immanent, the creator person without fear or on on conditions without an enmity or uncontradicted, the timeless one, incarnated, self created and enlightened. AGC gurus repeatedly assert the monotheistic character of God by saying God is the one, the only one, the one without a second. Through the understanding of God in Sikhism is a strictly monotheistic. It aspects two aspects of God, that is the Nirguna and the Saguna. God Parameshwar in his Nirguna aspect is beyond all attributes, including Sat, truth, Akal, beyond line, and origin of becoming in the Saguna aspect. God is attributed qualities like Sabd, Word, Name, Personality, and Guru and Writer. God is the creator of the universe, and the origin, existence, and survival of the universe depend on the all-powerful Bil Hukum of God. God created the world without the support of any other factor like Prakriti, and the created world are different in their nature. God is uncreated and unchanging, whereas the created world through not unreal is changing and limited. God exists even before creation in his transcendent nature, but through the act of creation he became immanent in the region of truth. God creates perpetually, watches his creation with a benevolent eye. AG8 God in his transcendent nature can't be explained in empirical terms because God is beyond time and space. When here was no form in sight, how could there be good or bad actions when God was in the self-absorbed state? There could be no enmity or conflict when God was all by himself. There could be no attachment or misunderstanding. AG 290 God through his word Nam creates the world and sustains it. God creates the universe, takes his word it and sustains it. 788 having created the world, he stands in the midst of it and is separate to AZ4. He is in the midst of all and is a distinct. Agit 939 God in his immanent nature is comparatively by empirical mind mind and comparably in his transcendent nature. The human person, because of ignorance, considers him herself as the lord of creation and self-reliant. Because of these wrong identifications, humans get attached to the material world, and the attachment lead to endless cycles of births and deaths. Liberations mukti from the cycle of births and deaths is possible only by becoming aware of the constant person of God within Gurumukh, and by the grace of God any number of rituals or pilgrimage is not capable of bringing liberation for the seeker, because God is present within each one. What is required is right conduct. The awareness of the presence of God with a person is expressed through selfless service seva. In this is man characteristics of a liberated person will alive attributes and the ultimate principle. God immanent means God is the ocean of attributes, values and virtues. God immanent is the standard and directions of moral values and ethical living. God, who is the creator and sustainer of the universe, is concerned about the well-being of the world and of the human beings. God is not passive about actively present in the life and struggles of the people, leading them liberation. It is will of God which controls and directs everything in this world. According to Sikhism, God never incarnates. May that mouth burn which says that God has incarnated. AZ 473. Through there are many gods, the formless, one transcendent, one never takes birth in this world. The Sikh God is a god of grace, whose or bill and grace are active in a becoming world without any other influences. God is completely free and creative, who is equated with Nam, the ultimate reality. 4.5 Sikh metaphysics. Like the Buddha, Sikh gurus were more concerned about the well-being of the people. However, they did not neglect the metaphysical issues completely through the ultimate reality. Nam is presented in various ways in Sikkim. It is the highest creativity power supporting the universe. Nam is equated with God, the creator of the universe, sustainer of the universe, permitting and informing all things. The Adi Granth says repeatedly asserts the role of God as the ultimate reality. At the same time, God is addressed as the mother, father, brother, beloved Lord, etc. This term underlines the intimate relationship between the creator and the created things, and at the same time maintain God as the holy other. This kind of intimate relationship requires a dynamic metaphysics to explain understanding of the absolute Sankara present Brahman devoid of all phenomenal categories nirguna. Such an analysis denies the possibility of the historical development of consciousness and knowledge, in contrast to the static and abstract metaphysics of the Vedanta. Spinoza in the Western philosophy presented a dynamic and concert metaphysics. For Spinoza, God exists in nature as the universal essence, and things exist in him as the modes of his reality. Sikhism brings in both the static and dynamic elements in its metaphysics with the help of all inclusive principle, that is ecomkar in its formless transcendent existence represent the static aspect, and the same principle in its manifested form as the cause of the visible universe through emanations and systematic unity represent the becoming aspect. The dynamic aspect of the reality is inserted in the inner unity of the elements in a in hierarchical order. The higher and closer the element to the reality, it attains higher refinement and harmony. Sikhism subscribes to the structural unity of transformation and assimilations, which consist of three main concepts: the idea of non-dual unity, the concept of continuous transformations and assimilation, and the idea of self-regulative and creative principles. Sukum, the structure is a unity in which the in which the elements resubordinated to the cosmic law, Hukamani, Andari, and no element exist in isolation. Bhadari from one another. Nirbhai Singh, 1990, 71. 4.6 Non-dualism in the context of unity. 16 does not accept the priority of independent units, but at the same time, in order to explain the systematic whole, thus has to be a unity. How does one overcome this problem independent unit and systematic unity? The dynamic unity in the manifested world is answered by the underlying impersonal unity of the three strands based of the fundamental principle IK. The manifesto world is a coherent and ordered whole regulated by the self-explanatory divine the principle hukum. Unlike the Advaita Vedanta Sikhism accept the reality of the empirical world, but for a person with practical knowledge, the empirical world is real. For a person with the full knowledge, the ultimate reality is the efficient cause of the universe. There is no need of an extraneous cause. That efficient cause inherent in a potential state in the ultimate reality, which by means of emanations brings out the material world. The things in the world are varied and nature because of the difference in the elements, but there is no difference between the units of elements in the world and the absolute reality in the level of essence. Both are the same. The absolute is immanently present in the manifested thing, just like the power of burning is innate to fire. The power of emanation is innate in the ultimate reality. In Sikhism, the manifest Saguna and the unmanifested Nirguna are the two aspects of the one and dual dynamic reality which all represent the personal and the impersonal dimensions. The idea of absolute unity is all inclusive and transcends all relational categories. Other unities and elements and at manifest level consist of relations of units. Logically speaking, unity presupposes multiplicity as well as duality. It has been seen that units are to be harmonized with a nexus of internal relations. Here there is a multiplicity of elements. It involves the duality because the very assertion of the IK implies epistemological duality between the subject knower and the object known. Nirvani Singh, 1994.7 Knowledge of the Absolute. A genuine knowledge of the IK and the manifesto world is based on the knowledge of the essence of the reality. The essence of the reality can be received in two levels, that is the worldly level with the help of the empirical means of knowledge, and in the transcendental level through the Brahma Jnana. Both these knowledge are complementary in the way of former cultivates in the latter. Hence, there is no contradiction between the two. The difference between the practical and the perfect knowledge are based on the higher order of lesser coherence among the units. The knowledge of the transcendental reality will highly coherent and harmonious, whereas the knowledge of higher empirical realities is less coherent. The imperfect nature of the empirical knowledge will become clearer as the seeker proceeds in the level of Brahma Jnana. 4.86 Understanding of appearances. Sikhism makes use of Maya to explain the manifested reality. The term Maya is used in a different sense in Sikh philosophy than the way it is used in the Hindu philosophical traditions. Through the concept of Maya can be traced back to the Arya Veda. It is Sankara who gave philosophical implications to the term. Sankara was indebted to Buddhism through to Gaudapada for the concept of Maya. Sankara interpreted Maya as the creative power of Brahma, but at the same time as Anirva- uh, Anirvashana indescribable. Hence, for Sankara, Maya is not totally unreal, but reality, the relatively real. Ramanuja considered Maya as the real energy, which is not distinct from the supreme reality. Sikhism considered the universe as relatively real, sad with various degrees of reality, both the personal and the impersonal aspect of the dynamic principle IK is manifested in the universe. Guru Nanak arrived at the idea of Maya through an intuitive experience which made him aware of the threat of the transitory nature of the phenomenal world. Speaking about this intuitive awareness, Sher Singh says everything changes, and the only thing that does not change is God in his Afur. Instead, as such, the reality of the world is relative. The manifestation as such changes and is transitory is Maya. The essence of it is the divine element which is permanently real. But Maya does not mean that the world is an illusion. Saying 1969, many of the hymns in the Adi Granth has used term like mithya, illusion, could false, supna dream, and Chaya Sado to refer to the transitory nature of the manifested world. Nanak understood Maya as an epistemological category on the basis of truth realizations. Maya is the inherent and inescapable power of IK, which is manifested in different forms of art creation. Nanak accept creation of the in historical time, whereas the essence of the real is akul eternal. Sikhism, in order to explain the multiplicity of realities, adopts a religious ethical discipline which will lead to transcendence. The ethical discipline necessitates social involvement and commitment by means of protection to the weak and support to a righteous cause. The world, according to Sikhism, is created as the moral stage where one has to struggle for perfections in this struggle. The finite self, Hamani. Hamai is understood as a passing phenomenon when the ego consciousness is dissolved. The union with IK takes place from within. 4.9 Reality and Experience in Sikkim. Sikkim makes a distinction between the genuine knowledge acquired through rational spiritual means and the metaphysical knowledge that gain acquired through institutions. That Jian will lead the person to the awareness of the union with the absolute God is known through initiative knowledge, Anubhav Prakash, whereas empirical knowledge it is derived through passive perceptions or reason. Seek epistemology accepts four kinds of knowledge: perceptual knowledge, reason. Seek epistemology accepts four kinds of knowledge: uh, perceptual knowledge, ज्ञान, or knowledge acquired through cognitive organs and mental perceptions. Rational knowledge, Vivek Gyan, which is gained through reason, faith, and reason, are complementary to each other in realizing an absolute unity. 3. Scriptural knowledge, Shastri Gyan, is the knowledge derived through the words of a realized person, Sati Guru Sabda. Sikhism does not accept the Vedic scriptures as the valid knowledge. When the intellect and the will become still, the knowledge of the IK will be revealed in the pure consequences. The Guru Granth Sahib as a perennial source of revealed knowledge will guide the seeker to the realizations of the ultimate reality. 4. Intuitive knowledge, Anubhav Gyan, which is the highest form of knowledge revealed to the pure consciousness in the perceptual and rational level. The duality continues to exist, whereas in the intuitive level the duality disappears and the experience of the union is ushered in plays an important role. 16 speaks about four states of consciousness, that is Mati, man, that is Mati, man, Buddhi. Then to the man, the mind, Buddhi, the intelligence will start working on the sense data received. The mind, buddhi, is the faculty of discriminative reasoning, which can be enlightened with the help of a guru's guidance. Suddhi, self-luminous knowledge, is the last stage, which will lead to the intuitive awareness of the union with the ultimate principle. Four-pointer moral philosophy. Sikhism is basically an ethical religion based on three fundamental concepts, that is work, worship and charity. Kirti karo, naam japo and bandh kako should be the guiding principles in life. Second, self reliance is the greatest obstacle to God realization, which is manifested in just anger, anger, greed, materialism, and pride. Guru Nanak remarks, sweetness, and humility are the essence of all virtues. AG 470. It is as a householder that a Sikh should seek God realizations, and householder who gives all they can afford to charity is as pure as the water of the Gangas. AG 952. God relation through renunciations is easy, but it is more challenging and difficult will being actively involved in the world. Guru Nanak said, "Do not convert your neighbor's possessions without the name. We can't attain inner peace nor steal our inner hunger. The Guru has shown me the real life of the city, the real life of its subs. It is the inner life. We must be traders in truth, moderate in our eating and sleeping. This is true Yoga Sim AZ 939 as a reaction to the then exciting social evil. Sikhism was against the caste systems and also against demanding the status of women. The Har Mandir at Amritsar had four doors open to all. The four caste Sikhism accepted people of all denominations, irrespective of their caste of social status. Hereafter, no one is distinguishable by caste. Guru Arjan spoke about the Adi Granth. This divine teaching is for everyone: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaisya, and Sudra. Whoever utters the name which lives in all hearts under the Guru's instructions is delivered from age Kali Yuga. Guru Nanak as a spiritual preceptor followed by principle of non-violence even in slavery and violence by Babur's army. He even considered the Mughal invasion as the chastisement by God for the evils of the people. Are you pitiless creator of all? You have sent Yama, God of death, distinguished as the Mughal. Did you feel no pity for what happened? For the crimes of those who cried in agony. The social realities in the latter times forced the subsequent gurus to take to arms to protect the poor and helpless people from the exploiters. The 10th Guru Gobind Singh Gobind Singh accepted the idea of just war when all efforts to restore peace prove useless, and no words avail lawful is the flash of steel. It is right to draw the sword, but they reminded his followers that Sikhs should never be the first one to draw the sword. Vegetarianism is commonly practiced. The respect for women was part of Sikh social life. Widow remarriage was encouraged. Care of the needy and service to the poor is practiced in the Sikh community. Sangat is a democratic gathering and longer allows people to eat together irrespective of their caste and social status, and ensure social equality. 4.11 laid some of the Mula Mantra, the fundamental tenet composed by Guru Nanak and always given in the beginning of the Adi Granth, present the central theme of Sikh metaphysics. The Mula Mantra as it is enunciated by Nanak harmoniously integrates the unity of the personal God and the spirit of in personal idealism. The personal and the non-dual nature of the ultimate reality is the underlying current of the Sikh scriptures. The aspect of unity of the ultimate reality is represented by the Sikh concept Ikomar, which is combinations of three terms, that is Ik meaning one OM, that stands for the primary cause of the empirical world, and Kar, which represent the creative aspect. On the one hand, the concept ICOMCA represents the non-dual personal unity of the ultimate principle. On the other hand, it represents the unity of the entire cosmos with its multitude of beings, time and space. On the whole, the concept Ikomaka represents of non-dual systematic unity. In Sikh philosophy, God created the world without the support of any other factor like Prakriti. The creator and the created world are different in their nature. God is uncreated and unchanging, whereas the created world through not unreal, changing and limited. God existed even before creation in his transcendent nature, but through the act of creation, he became immanent in the region of truth. God creates perpetually, watches his creation with a benevolent eye, aged. God in his transcendent nature can be explained in empirical terms, because God is beyond time and space. When he was no form in sight, how could there be good or bad actions? When God was in the self-absorbed state, there could be no enmity or conflict. When God was all by himself, there could be no attachment or misunderstanding. AZ 290, God through His word, Nam creates the world and sustains it. God creates the universe, takes His abode in it, and and sustains it, having created the world. He stands in the midst of it and is separate too. He is in the midst of all, and is a distinct God in his immanent nature is incomparable by the empirical mind and incomprehensible in his transcendent nature as a reaction to the then existing social evil. Sikhism against to the caste demanding the status of women. The Harmandir the Har the Harmandir Amritsar and four doors open to all the four castes. Sikhism accepted people of all denominations irrespective of their caste of social status. Hereafter no one is distinguished no by caste. Guru Arjan spoke about the Adi Granth Adi Granth. This divine teaching is for everyone Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Whoever utters the name which lives in all hearts under the Guru's instruction is delivered from Age Kali Yuga, age 747. Respect for women was part of Sikh social life. Widow remarriage was encouraged. Care of the needy and service to the poor is practiced in the Sikh community.